your writing fellow, and you know, I really, hi Rachel, this is David, your writing fellow. I just wanted to let you know that I thought that this was a really good paper for the beginning of the semester. I think that you had some really good ideas and that you really thought this through. So just to let you know, I'm really excited about the semester because I can see that not only do you have a desire and a will to learn how to write and be effective in that, but you also have a lot of potential, and a lot of potential to learn, as well as a lot of potential within your career. So I'm excited for that. Rachel, I just wanted to show you this. It's called the Pyramid for Effective Writing, and that's something that you may see throughout the semester. We may share it with the class, but this has been extremely helpful to me when attempting to write a paper and what to focus on first. So every portion of this pyramid is absolutely important. However, you cannot complete the top of the pyramid without first starting at the base. So whenever you start a paper, think of, for what purpose am I writing and to what audience am I writing? And so because of that, that's your focus. And not only that, how should I write, or in what context should I write this paper? In this case, you're writing to Brother Ostad, or throughout the semester, he'll give you other assignments where you're writing to different people or specific, I guess, company or something like that. But you always, whenever you start out a paper or anything else, start out on the focus and who you're writing to. And I think that that's something that your paper could really use a lot of help in. And so a lot of my comments are focused on that topic of focus, that bottom layer. So I wasn't able to comment on everything, and a lot of times when I comment on a paper, I start in the beginning making comments, and then near the end, I want you to go through and look for yourself based on the comments that I've seen and try to apply that into your own paper. Another thing that I want to tell you is that revising is absolutely invited. So please send this to me again if you can, with the revised portion, and then I will try to, and I will get this back to you so that you can make these changes and improve your paper even further. So let's get started on your paper. Forgive me, it's the middle of the night and I'm at work, so if I am not very clear, you can let me know and ask me questions anytime via email or text. So just let me know. Let me pull up your paper right here on Turnitin.com. This is what I see when I see Turnitin.com. Something here near the top, it says there's a 0% similarity between this and other papers, which is awesome because you didn't plagiarize. So good job. Okay, so I want to go through here and explain some of my comments in the beginning. That way you can get a little bit of feedback, not only just my comments that might be a little bit off base. So I really liked your humor throughout the paper. It was I can tell that you have a good sense of humor. In an argumentative paper, that is effective only for certain audiences. Like I said before, you always write to a specific audience. And so humor won't actually be a very good in some argumentative papers that you're writing, but it is in some. But I really did enjoy this humor. Let me show you some of the comments right here. Right here I put you did a great job of coming up with a clear argument. Now what I want to see is for you to continue on with that clear argument. In other words, for every good thesis statement, there's always a because. So why is Aristotle's and Tolstoy's definitions of art, why are those definitions why do they fall short of fully embodying what genuine and good art is? So maybe give your arguments within the paragraphs. For example, you argue that Aristotle's definition is too limited. So in this case, this is just an example. Please don't just put what I do unless you feel like you should. An example of this would be to say, while Aristotle and Tolstoy both provide decent definitions of art, both fall short of fully embodying what genuine and good art is, because Aristotle's definition is too limited and Tolstoy's definition of art is too broad. So by mentioning that briefly, you give a rundown to the audience of your thesis statement. So this is why I believe that. So that's part of your thesis statement. And then the other one is, you mentioned Greenberg's, and I want the same thing. I want you to go further with that thesis and say, why is Greenberg's definition, why does that envision what good art is? So with every thesis statement, remember to put what you're arguing, but also how you're arguing it. That's a good way of putting it. All right. So to continue on, I really love your first sentence, the first topic sentence, because it has a clear argument right there. Aristotle's view is too limited when it comes to defining art, and he believes that art is the imitation of nature or truth. What I want to mention to you is after giving a clear and concise argument in the beginning sentence, a thesis, I guess, a topic sentence in the beginning of each paragraph, maybe, not maybe, it is always very good in an argumentative paper to explain a little bit into what you mean by that. So I put a pretty extensive comment right here, but explaining what do you mean by truth, and what do you mean by his definition of art, or art does not always imitate nature, and it's not always truth. What do you mean by that? What is your definition of the two of them? And by that, you give your reader a little bit of a background into your thought process, because maybe the reader's definition of truth is different from yours, or maybe the reader's definition of nature is different than yours. So to them, depending on their definition, it could be true. So if you give a clear definition of what you feel that nature and truth is, then the reader will be able to follow you a lot easier. And right here, with every argument and every point that you make backing up your main topic sentence of the paragraph, always give a good reason. So focus on the audience, but always give a good reason. So how is an idealized form of nature not nature, or an attempt to imitate it? So that was one of your arguments. So how does that not fall into Aristotle's definition, if even if it is an idealized form? How is that not nature if it's an attempt to imitate it? When nature something where you're working towards a main goal, and how is that not truth? So things like that, arguing and thinking of both sides. What would my reader think against what I'm saying? And whenever you think that while you're writing, then you're able to more fully be effective in your arguments. So your point is this, and you have to think about what another person might think differently and try to argue against that. I know it's difficult on this subject, but it's something that Brother Offset has assigned you to do, and I believe in you. I think that you're going to do awesome. So I have a few comments that are very similar to what I said before, and I want you to go through the rest of this paper and try to weed out a little bit of the comments that do not have a very good backing, and try to back them up a little bit, and give a more focused and a more strong argument against another person's view, or maybe just an explanation into what you mean by what you're saying and why that's important to your overall argument, instead of some filler things. And hopefully this was helpful. I know that I'm babbling and it's the middle of the night, but I hope that this can help you, and I'm really here to help you, Rachel, and I think that you did a good job. And I know that if you turn this back into me, you can continue to improve this paper and it can become a really good thing for you. You can start out great this semester learning these skills, but also you can, receive a better grade in the class, which is always helpful for careers and for school. Anyway, I believe in you. Don't give up. Thanks.